What's going on, guys? It's Luden here from Nomad, and we're gonna walk through Sage Cret, one of the brands we've had here for, I want to say, from like the jump. Japanese brand, kind of just like masters of texture. You're gonna see a lot of shapes that are, otherwise pretty minimal, but just done up in a really cool way, just thanks to that fabrication they have over there. To start it off, it's not going to be exactly the best example of all that texture, but it's a tee that we're really excited about. We got it in last spring. It's a tee that kind of has this wrapped shoulder detail. I think we called it the wrapped shoulder tee last time. Now we're just more or less focusing on the heaviness of the cotton. It's a heavyweight cotton tee, but it's not like a crunchy, beefy tee that you would expect. It's substantial, but it has a nice smooth hand, similar to like a mercerized cotton that you would see. But the distinguishing feature on it is going to be the way that this shoulder comes around from the back and then ends up front over here. A bit of a nod to tailoring. It kind of creates a really smooth shoulder line.
Even like the back collar is different.
Yeah, you can see there's ribbing up there, none up there, kind of lays flat, smooth across your back, and it presents like a regular t-shirt. Sometimes you can have like hard shoulder lines on t-shirts. Sometimes, you're gonna have a bit of a different shape. This should just be a nice, smooth, sloping shape that we have going on there. And we actually have Greg here modeling it expertly in the, what is that? We call that the slate colorway. Yeah.
Slate? Sax blue. Sax blue.
Oh, Sax blue. Yeah.
It just gives a little bit of that raglan sleeve vibe to it.
Yeah.
Like seeing like the, just gives a little bit more of like a structural, like visual effect to the tee that makes it completely different than just wearing a normal tee. And then just nice big pocket, a little bit low.
Yeah.
Just matches the boxy fit.
Shape, yeah.
Pretty nice. That's an extra large.
Which his true size. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think
my size.
Probably take your true size on it for sure. As with most Sage Cret, it's going to be a little bit relaxed, a little bit roomy. That's their vibe. But you want to take your true size, otherwise fit can get a little bit funky. So that's the two colors: Sax blue and white. Next on, another shape that we've had previously from them, their Panama shirt. Last time we also had it in a white, except it was like a very gauzy cotton linen. But these shirts, it's kind of like a guayabera, but they kind of detract from that guayabera by doing very like subtle special details to it. You probably can't see from that far away, but if you want to come on in a little bit closer, you can see that it's actually made kind of like a fun shirt with each panel in a contrasting pattern, switching from a cotton ripstop to like their cotton like hemp fabric on the not on the collar, on the back right here. You can kind of see it's kind of like a cotton broadcloth, and then we have a very distinct heavy cotton twill coming on the front, very similar to like a Bedford cord almost. Just kind of has those nice deep ridges. It's not something people are going to necessarily see like up front. Maybe if you spill like some wine on your shirt, you can kind of see that a little bit, but otherwise it's just kind of one of those details that you feel nice about. Overall, it makes for a pretty like hefty weight on a shirt that feels otherwise very summery. So it's something you're going to want to wear on top of other things, or after you wear it and wash it a bunch and it softens up, then you can kind of just wear it on skin, vibe out, chill. This is a big favorite shape of ours. Glad we did it in this one here. You can take your true size, as I said before. That's just sick. And now finally getting into a little bit more of that fun texture that you get from Sage. This is their military overshirt, another shape that they do each season, but kind of revisit it in different ways. This version, it kind of applies that puckering detail that you would see coming down the front on a guayabera, except instead it's applied on a military shirt. So kind of, subvert your expectations there. And it's done in their classic cotton linen or cotton hemp fabrication, which has those wrinkly, crinkly textures to it. Garment dyed in like this nice deep khaki. It's not like your schoolboy khaki. It's like a proper military khaki. It has just nice like seams, like double needle stitching throughout. And this version is unlined, and some of them have had pockets on the side that kind of make it fit more like a jacket. This one is more of just like a proper overshirt, just these pockets up front there. So you can wear it as a regular shirt if you'd like, but if you take your true size, it's gonna fit like a classic overshirt. Then another one that we get from Sage every season, this time done up similar to like their previous field parkas, jungle jackets, but this time they kind of made it a little bit lighter. So that cotton hemp that you might have seen before that can get a bit substantial. I mean, we even have it in like fall, winter. This one is really lightweight and crisp on the hand. So this jacket feels like a proper like summer jacket. They did away with the flaps that you usually see on the front pockets up here, and instead it's just a nice open pouch with a snap that closure there to keep things secure if needed, but the buttons and the flap are still on the bottom as you'd expect. One thing to note, probably should have had this open prior, is that the shape is pretty roomy. I'd say if you're taking like the same shape in this and the military shirt, you'll see that this is substantially larger. And the reason for that is that they add 2 points of adjustment on it. You have one on the waist in the form of kind of like a tie right here that you can kind of cinch in, and that kind of gives you a little bit of like waist definition, gives you like some nice shape. But they also have this little elastic band that you see at the bottom here. They kind of lets you, goodness, take this like a nice bubbly, you know, like cinched up blouson at the bottom with like a really big, nice balloony shape up top. It's still very roomy. You're gonna want to take your true size. Otherwise, I'd say note the sleeves. The sleeves kind of run for the size that you'd expect. So some people there are like, oh, I'm gonna size down, I want it smaller. Those sleeves will start creeping up on you. So if you wanted something slimmer, this probably might not be the shape for you, but for the people that it does appeal to, it's gonna be a favorite. Really good one. Next up, we have some shorts from Sage. We get them every spring. This is their pouch pocket shorts. They've done different things to the pockets. I think they've really kind of struck it right when they finally added these buttons. Before, they were just kind of these big old pockets that hung up on the side, some nice like cargo pockets. They really fall naturally. I think when you put your hands down, that's where you expect to have a pocket instead of like, boom, reaching back. And yeah, they're just very big, very roomy on the sides. But in this fabrication, they like fall very clean. They usually have done it in their previous cotton hems before. This is I believe a linen blend with like some very, very subtle texture that you can kind of see sneaking in there. This one is like an indigo with a black, like very, very thin stripe, which almost kind of just looks like the texture of the thing there. And this one is like a brown and like a very warm charcoal micro check. I think they even said it might even be like a very small like Prince of Wales, but pretty hard to see that kind of definition there. I think it's more just like a check. And yeah, I think a different thing they have done before, it has just been a button with like belt loops, so you can like just wear a belt with it if you want. This time they went with a draw cord to cinch in that waist if you want. So for your size, they may fit a little bit large, but they're kind of meant to just be cinched in at the waist, have a nice like defining shape. You can see it on that guy there, look at him, he's looking handsome. And then for the other shorts, we have a more classic sod shape with their one tuck shorts. They've done one tuck pants before. This time, now just short. Their classic khaki hemp, cotton hemp. Has all the details you'd expect on the pants. The same flat pockets, slash pockets up front, but this time as a short. They're pretty long, pretty high rise. I think they're kind of made nice to just, if you want to cuff them up, they have a good amount of like play you can do with that. If you wear them high rise, it'll have like a shorter inseam with that. But if you want to wear them low, have some more voluminous shorts, this gives you that option. And then the pants that I'm wearing, the pants that I'm actually most excited about from Sage is going to be their, it's like their baker's pant. We did one last fall. It has those like big fatigue pockets, and it was done in like a Bedford cord, pretty substantial. This time they went with like a very nice washed wool, very, very lightweight, 100% wool. It has like a really nice flow to it. You probably can see that better on like leg, on body. The shape has like a very high rise, so you can see here I'm wearing it like pretty high up there, and the length is still very full. I think you've seen a lot of more cropped Sage trousers in the past. These are a very full leg, really nice drape on them. I feel like it's something that like we'd have from like Stofa rather than Sage, so a little bit like surprised to see it from them, but also very, very excited. And aside from that, it has a classic fatigue baker pant details, the slash pocket up front, and then the two flaps. And they also have a bit of like some piping coming down the front and the back. Just another point of detail to have. And we also did that in a more classic fatigue fabric, their cotton hemp garment dyed olive. And this kind of behaves more of like a classic fatigue pant, except you have like a more like lighter weight, almost like pajama-like feel to it. Very cozy, very nice, very much not duplicative with like your other fatigues at home, I think. And then to finish off Sage, we have their one tuck trousers. The shape we usually do, they kind of, we do it in like their seasonal fabric. So they'll do like their classics, but this is something new that they offer to the table this season. It's a cotton poly seersucker check. So you can kind of see that puckering there, and that check is tonal as well, so it's very, very discreet. But it's just packed with a ton of texture, I think, once you wear it on body and you kind of see it moving. Once it catches light, it's a very fun pant to wear. But still like not gonna steal a show of your outfit. It's still like pretty minimal in like the look. It's just the vibe and the shape and the texture that you get off of that. Similar shape as the other ones, it's gonna be a high rise, except so this is gonna be not cropped, but just kind of fall cleanly on the hem, so you're not gonna get this like pooling if you don't want it. And then that is Sage. Moving on from there, we have some footwear with Castañer out of Spain. We have them every spring. You guys love them. We love them too. We have 3 styles that are coming back. It's going to be the Pablo, which is their canvas espadrille. It's probably like their best seller. This is like what you think of when you think of espadrilles are going to be these. We have the coming back in navy, ivory, and tostada, which is like this really nice kind of like I don't know, like it looks like a garment dyed like brown, toasty, like orange cream. Then we kind of revisited it, did it in a different shape that they offered. It's still the same shape, the same Pablo, but instead it has this crushable heel. So you can kind of put it into mule mode, right? So now you're even more, you can't even be bothered to slip on a slipper and you just want to boom, put your foot down. I've been there, I'm sure we've been there. I have like Vans at home that have just crushed backs because I just don't want to deal with it. This is the shoe for you. They're very sick. The color is this really, really nice muted olive. And it has this little nice positive affirmation there. Mind your step, you know, makes us all more conscious as we wear these shoes. They're beautiful. Keep the world beautiful. Mind your step. All right, the next one we have, it might look like a restock, but it's actually a new color. We've had it in like graffito before and ivory, but this season we're calling them taupe and cream. It's slightly different, but still the kind of the same vibe. This is a very nice, warm, toasty gray, and this is a pretty deep, nice cream. It's gonna be like their, what we call loaf spadrilles. So it's a completely 100% suede upper, but it still has that jute roping that you would expect to see on the Pablos. And something to note for Castañers, if you've had other espadrilles in the past, you've probably thought like, yeah, you wear these for the summer, you dump them, you throw them out. They make these built to last, which is not something you'd expect out of an espadrille. They have these nice rubber soles on the bottom, so I mean, I could wear them outside in New York City. Probably not today, it's a little bit cold, but otherwise I can get some good miles on these and they're gonna be nice. Yeah, sizing on these, you could take your true EU size. I take a 44, and that's what I would take. I'm like a US 11. So, yeah. Otherwise, yeah, that is Castañer. Catch you guys next week. Take care.